Toss out to the pack. It is Pack here.
AKA your mama's best friend, your daddy's worst nightmare.
Okay, so I know I had made like a little promise to make the free agent roster update videos like every single day in free agency, all the new stuff I was gonna like talk about whenever there's like a big change or trade happened, right? So I did day 1, it was awesome, but then day 2 came around and Kevin Durant had demanded a trade from the Nets and no one did anything. So we're like 4 days in and there's like barely anything to talk about. But I felt bad, you know, it's been 4 days, there is a couple changes, so I'll go with that. But to be honest with you, this is frozen until Kyrie and Kevin Durant get traded. But let's just talk about what we can get from this so far. If you like this kind of content when it comes to NBA 2K22 news, ratings, rosters, changes, and NBA 2K23, please join the pack and subscribe. Reminder that this roster update isn't going to happen until NBA 2K23 drops, just to clarify. And these ratings aren't 100% accurate. Let's get the video started. So, the first trade I think I should talk about. Also, if I don't mention one of your favorite teams, it's because there was no trades or signings to talk about. We're going to the Chicago Bulls and talking about Goran Dragic. Goran Dragic's old. He's 36 years old. He was one of the better point guards in the NBA for a long time. He's on the all-time Miami Heat team for a reason. He was great in Phoenix for a little bit. I mean, he's a multiple-time 20-point per game scorer. Goran Dragic's a bucket, right? He's a great NBA player. I think he'd be a great addition to any team as a backup point guard. And as the Chicago Bulls, who are trying to be contenders with a team of DeMar, Levine, Vooch, Lonzo, Patrick Williams, that's a very good team with Alex Caruso. This is a very good team. Having someone like Dragic is going to be a major help to get buckets off the bench. I mean, the rest of this team is really damn good. And on top of it all, you still have Kobe White who's going to get better. Andre Drummond was just signed. And like, this is a good team. This is a very, just Io, like, there's so many good players on this team. They're trying to win a championship. You do need a superstar to win a championship, and even though I think DeMar is great, I think Zach LaVine has an opportunity to become that kind of player this season. And I think they have a chance. They have the roster to do this. They just absolutely have to pull it off. I'm going to show you the starting lineup just to make sure we see what's going on. So Lonzo, Levine, DeRozan, Williams, Vooch, and then they think that Dragic will be the 11th man, and usually in the NBA, that player does get minutes. It's usually, even though there's 13 to 15 players on a team, I always feel like there's only 11 players that really get like any kind of significant minutes at all. I think Dragic will be an important player and like the final player that gets important minutes. A very important one is the Brooklyn Nets. And let's go to TJ Warren. They signed TJ Warren, who's a 77 overall. This is very misleading. I know it says he's a 77 overall, but that's not necessarily true about TJ Warren. You need to understand that this is one of the smartest pickups the Nets have ever done. His first healthy season, right, in 2020, the bubble season, he was averaging 19.8 points on 54% from the field and 40% from 3. You guys don't realize how absurd those numbers are as a small forward. He was damn good for the past 3 years. Okay, these are not fluke numbers. These are legit great NBA player numbers. Okay. The problem is injuries. The past 2 seasons he's been injured. 2021 he played like a couple games, so this doesn't even count. What, like 5 games? Not even. It was only like 4 games. So these stats don't even count. And then this season he didn't even play at all. So the Nets picking up TJ Warren and hoping he can even be a 77 overall type of player is still a great pickup. Okay. They also pick up Edmond Sumner. Where is he? Back here. Edmond Sumner's a pretty good player. He's athletic. He can shoot. He can defend. I mean, he can definitely do some stuff here for the Nets. A 7.5 points per game last season, and 52% from the field. I mean, he's honestly genuinely good. So this is what we're talking about for the Nets, right? You have to assume that KD and Kyrie aren't going to be here anymore. So what you're thinking right now is Ben Simmons, right? You're thinking, what can we give Ben Simmons to give him the most help possible? Seth Curry, Joe Harris, TJ Warren, these are players that are absolutely going to help him. You can play TJ Warren at the small forward or power forward depending on how good he is. He's a shooter. Seth Curry is a shooter. You're surrounding Ben Simmons with spacing. That's what you're going to try to do. And then when they trade KD and Kyrie, you're going to try to trade for players that can create spacing. Or I think, for example, if the KD gets traded to the Raptors, they can get like Scotty Barnes, they can get OG Anunoby. Kyrie can be traded for maybe like a big. They might get Russell Westbrook. We'll have to wait and see what they do with Kyrie. But like they're trying to make this team good enough to at least be a solid playoff team next season. And I think they're adding the pieces to make sure that's going to happen. I think It's looking a little better for the Nets, but it's going to depend on 100% on what they get for KD and Kyrie. Next team to talk about is a team that I feel is making very underrated moves. That's the Lakers. I've already talked about the other players that they signed, like Lonnie Walker, great pickup. Juan Toscano Anderson, great pickup. Troy Brown, like these are very, very solid pickups for the Lakers. You still have Kendrick Nunn, and this is the important one, Thomas Bryant. They just signed him. So Thomas Bryant used to be on the Lakers. They traded him, and then he went crazy on the Wizards. I don't know if they traded him or they let him go, but he's been going crazy on the Wizards. Great efficiency, can shoot threes, rebounds decently well. 14 points per game on 27 minutes per game. Look, Thomas Bryant, I know it was only 10 games last season, but Thomas Bryant's good. He needs to find a way to stay healthy, but this is a great center to have. This is your starting center to me. A center that can shoot threes next to AD is really damn good. This is an amazing pickup for the Lakers. It's a player that they should have never let go in the first place. This is a W signing. This is an absolute W signing for the Lakers. Super underrated. I'm getting a little excited because this is, especially if they get Kyrie for Westbrook, this is a great NBA team, bro. I think they might, I don't know who they would put at shooting guard. Maybe Lonnie or Kendrick Nunn. I think you would put Lonnie at starting shooting guard. And this is a pretty damn good team, dude. I'm telling you, this is looking good for the Lakers. Last team quickly, for the Spurs, my team. They had traded DeJounte Murray, and they had just signed Isaiah Roby from the Thunder. So Isaiah Roby, he averaged 9 points and 6 rebounds just a season ago. He averaged 10 points, he averaged 5 rebounds, and he literally played 20 minutes a game. That's pretty solid numbers on good efficiency. And he can shoot threes really well. I'm happy with this because the Spurs are in hella rebuild mode. And I think getting a power forward, which is a position that they're very lacking in, like Zach Collins, we signed him to hopefully be a good player in that position. But now for someone to compete with him, like Isaiah Roby, we can see who's going to be the real power forward for his team. And then Soken, honestly, should also probably play power forward, but they might put him at small forward because also Keldon Johnson's power forward. So you have so many different, I think, so many players that are versatile. You can put them in so many different positions right now that it's exciting. I still think that we need to trade Jakob just because I don't see how he fits to the future of this team and if we're trying to rebuild, But overall, I'm really excited about this pickup because he's a genuinely good player. So that's pretty cool. Okay, boys, that's it for this video. Who do you think is the most interesting pickup for which team? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like this channel, please give it a sub. I'll see you guys next time.